Now, this commentary is going to be controversial. I'm just going to come out and say it. I know what it's like talking about this. Just saying the word is triggering. But I want to give a shout out to all those in the past that had my back when I said the word and stood my ground over a year ago. And just like then, I'm going to stand my ground now. Let's get into it. Made TVP. Let's go. Hello, good morning. It's your girl, Miss Analytical. I'm coming to you straight out of NYC on this quiet, but you could say kind of beautiful Tuesday morning. And so I wanted to talk about this yesterday because that's when I first saw the article. But then I realized that because of the algorithm, that if I would have talked about it yesterday, around the time I would have talked about it, I probably wouldn't have gotten that many views. And I want all the views for this. And I'm going to say, if you disagree with what I'm going to say, be respectful about it. But you're not going to come on here and talk and then try to basically bully me into thinking like you. And that's why I started off the commentary like this. Because after last year, I ain't ever dealing with that nonsense again. Okay, ain't nobody going to bully me for what I say on YouTube. I've been on here for 4 years and I'm staying on here with my channel intact. So it reads, according to the New York Post, transgender man who gave birth slams nurses who called him mom. Yes, you heard it the exact same way I read it from the New York Post. So this man, in quotations, named Bennett Casper Williams. He was born a woman and he basically transitioned and he has a husband. And he in quotations, decided to become a parent and kept the ovaries and just did the top surgery, got pregnant and delivered a baby and was upset because they called the transgender man, him, a woman. And they called him a mom and ma'am. So he felt disrespected and misgendered. Now I'm going to get into my opinions, but we're going to read this. It reads, not everyone who gives birth is a, in quotations, mother. This transgender man would like medical workers to know. In October 2020, Los Angeles resident Bennett Casper Williams, 37, gave birth via cesarean to a healthy baby boy with his husband Malik. But in the process of having little Hudson, Casper Williams was troubled by the constant misgendering of him by hospital staff who insisted on calling him a mom, the Daily Mail reported. No one can ever really know whether having children is possible until you try. Being born with the uterus doesn't make conceiving or carrying certainly. The father, who began transitioning in 2014, said of his parenthood journey. That's why it's so important that we stop defining womanhood in terms of motherhood, because it's a false equivalency that all women can become mothers, that all mothers carrying children, or that all people who carry children are mothers. Casper Williams realized he was trans in 2011 and he began transitioning in 2014, a process which included getting a $5,000 surgery on the top, but not the bottom half of his body. It was really liberating, he said, of the surgery to remove his breast. I never could have anticipated what a relief it would be to find them gone. It was a huge weight off my shoulders. The process of trying to conceive, being successful, and being pregnant were not challenging to his gender identity. He said, in fact, the only real cause of unease regarding it was the way medical professionals continually assumed his gender. The only thing that made me dysphoric about my pregnancy was the misgendering that happened to me when I was getting medical care for my pregnancy. He said, the business of pregnancy, and yes, I say business because the entire institution of pregnancy care in America is centered around selling the concept of motherhood. It's so intertwined with gender that it is hard to escape being misgendered. Despite his full beard, flat chest, and the quote-unquote male gender marker on his paperwork, people could not help but default to calling me mom, mother, or ma'am. He said, today, the fact that he is both a father and the person who made his baby are immense sources of pride. Nothing feels stronger than being able to say, I'm a dad who created my own child. He said, to my son, there's nothing more natural and normal than having a dada and a papa, he said. And when he's old enough, he will also come to know that his dada was the one who carried him and took care of him so he could come into this world. I'm going to pause for one moment because I'm going to go in. And when I go in, I'm not going to stop until I choose to. And when I choose to, it's because I'm going to say everything that is meaningful and important to me and to my people and to also being a woman and to my community, which is ADOS, FBA, Black diaspora, and even the extended family of mine, which are Latinos. Number one, a man cannot get pregnant. I'm going to say that again. A man cannot get pregnant. Okay? If a person is carrying a baby and they have a womb, because they are a biological woman. And they have a biological woman, they are that because they have 2 chromosomes that are both the X marker. You cannot conceive and carry a baby as a man. Okay? Now, you want to identify as a man? That's on you. But here's the deal. Biologically, you go in that hospital and they see that you got a womb. They are going to call you ma'am because women give birth. The fact that you, Bennett Casper Williams, who decided to transition to being a man, but then conceive and give birth because you chose to keep your womb, it still makes you a woman. You are a biological woman. You can have the surgeries. You can change your gender identity. But the double X marker remains the same. You chose to keep the womb. You wanted to carry a baby. You are a mom with a beard. Who is trans? You are a trans, but you're half trans because you still kept the womb and the ovaries and the eggs. Now, Bennett Casper Williams is a white transgender man. But guess what his husband is? Malik is a black man. Malik is a black man with a Muslim name. And their son Hunter, is the son's name Hunter? No, the son's name is Hudson, is a biracial young boy. He's a baby. But there are photos that I'm going to post because I'm noticing something about the family. The little boy Hudson in the photo looks like a little girl with the bright future bandana. I believe this is a family that is pretty much challenging gender norms. And I've always said this. Don't do that to the babies. Don't do that to the kids. Let the kids be innocent. Don't, mess with their gender. Don't even try to influence them. Because I've seen a lot of parents do this. And they'll say, oh, I'm going to put this on my baby. I'm going to dress my little girl as a little boy and my little son as a girl. I've seen this. And it's deplorable, in my opinion. And I'm not talking about like a 7, 8-year-old child that just wants to do this. I'm talking about a little 1, 2, and 3-year-old that isn't under the concept of their own being as a person. Now, they're from California. And if you know about California, you know how it is. They're Los Angeles residents. You know how it gets down because California is the home of where a lot of like the gender, conversations arise, like the challenging gender norms. They started in California. And it's been alleged that many of those people who did that were scientists. They were unconventional doctors, and they have a hidden agenda. These are things that have been spoken about for decades. You could go research this online. And a lot of these things come from certain universities that were liberal, socialist, and I'm going to say some of them have been linked to being racist. Okay? Now, why I said I'm sticking my guns on this is because I don't like the sense of you want to challenge gender norms. You chose to basically keep the ovaries in your womb. So when somebody is calling you ma'am, they're seeing that because they know that as a woman, you basically can't conceive and carry a baby with a womb as a man. Okay? You can't get mad at nurses. These are people that went to school. They have their associates, bachelors, masters. Some of them even have their DNP, which is Doctor of Nursing Practice. They study anatomy and physiology. And no matter what you learn in, let's say, sociology class, what you learn in anthropology, psychology, and how you feel mentally and spiritually, the physical never changes. And this is the one thing I will say about Black transgender people. They will tell you, I'm a biological man. I'm a biological woman. But I'm a transgender man. I'm a transgender woman. They can separate the two. But a lot of the others, or the Blacks that want to be like the others, they pretty much want to adopt to like, no. I am a trans man. I am a man. And this is who I am. And don't call me a woman. Don't call me a mom. Because I gave birth. But the reality is, you're still that mom. Even if you never call yourself mom, even if your son never calls yourself mom, the fact that you kept your womb still makes you the baby's mom. Because at the end of the day, the baby can be raised with 2 dads. The baby can be raised with 2 moms. But the biological makeup will always be a male and a female that produce that baby. And this is also in response to the whole thing of birthing people. Remember Cori Bush, the representative from Missouri? She pretty much wanted to change the term to birthing people. You can't do that. I know why she did it, because of people like Bennett Casper Williams. You cannot change the biology, and you can't change how things are like that. Men and women make babies. Two sexes can't create a baby. They just can't. And when it comes to trans people, what we have to understand is biological versus mental. Gender is not the same as sex. Gender has always been a concept, but if you notice, they don't say transsexual anymore. They say transgender. When I was a kid, they said transsexual, and that's because they changed their sex. Those old school, they went through it. They would go, you can say what you want, but they went through the whole operation. But the transgender, they're changing the whole concept, and they're challenging gender norms. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Do you want to go through the whole process, or do you just want to go through it half-stepping? Because to me, when I see things like this is half-stepping. This is not a person that's like, yo, I want to go through the whole thing. And I feel a lot of times this is because there's that sense of, I may want to detransition and go back. Another thing also, a lot of people don't notice about transgender men. Transgender men are more likely to still date men, as opposed to transgender women. They're attracted to the opposite sex. The transgender men who are biological women will stay and date men and be hypersexual and want to have sex with men and end up in what you would say homosexual relationships. They usually are not attracted to the opposite, to women. That's another thing people don't know. And a lot of times they will detransition and they'll get their boobs reconstructed, or they'll take estrogen to become a woman again. And that's something that a lot of people don't know. And there are YouTube channels that talk about this. So if anybody comes for me, y'all can go on, look it up on YouTube. You can see it for yourself. But what I'm saying is, this is not definitely hate speech, but this is just basically being honest and truthful. Because as a woman, I want to have children. And when I become a mom, because I will become a mom, you're not going to call me a birthing person. You're going to call me a mother, and you're going to say that I am a woman that is carrying a child. Because I feel that if you call me a birthing person, you're taking away my sex and my gender completely without my consent. Excuse me. And that's all there is to it. You know. And that's all there is to it. You know, enough is enough. And we as people, you know, we got to just, tell the truth. And, we just got to tell things and just be honest. We just got to be honest and just tell the truth. And, this is my commentary, and everyone is welcome to comment, but I'm going to say this, be respectful. If you threaten me, and if you basically try to bully me, I will flag your comments. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm not playing no games. It ain't going to be like it was last summer. Okay? And with all my subscribers, thank you for supporting me. My listeners, thank you for supporting me as well. Subscribe to my channel, May TVP. Hit the notification bell, share, comment. And I will talk to y'all soon. Take care.